Do you remember when Warcraft was about sitting around the campfire and eating sausages, trading stories of Worgen and Knolls? Goldshire Farms remembers.
Sausage Sampler is one of 7 achievements in Drustvar, which is much more than other zones. Every zone has an Explorer achievement and an Adventurer and Treasures achievement, but Stormsong only has 1 other Exploration achievement, and Tierguard has 2. Here in Drustvar, there is also, in addition to the Sausage Sampler achievement, Cursed Game Hunter, Better, Faster, Stronger, Everything Old is New Again, and Dress the Facts, ma'am. This achievement seems simple enough, just eat 6 different sausages. The difficulty is the Heartsbane Hexen Horse, or if you're Horde, in which case the vendors won't be friendly, and that's the difficulty. Sorry, Horde players, your best bet is to get an alliance friend, or alt, to put up the items on the neutral auction house. The 6 sausages you need are Goldshire Farms Smoked Sausage, Roland's Famous Frankfurter, Roscoe Friar's Mostly Meat Brat, Timmy Jean Sunrise Pork, Fried Boar Sausage, and Heartsbane Hexenwurst. Note that this isn't the order the 6 names appear in the achievement, rather the order reflects the easiest way to do this achievement. The first 4 sausages are sold by a vendor in Fallhaven, which, if you did the Alliance questline in Drustvar, is the first town that you explore in the zone. If you haven't completed the quest chain to free the villagers from their curse, this vendor won't be available. If you've got an alt that's completed the quest, that's all you need. Just walk up to the guy, buy the 4 sausages, and eat each in turn. You might put up your extras on the neutral auction house and see if you can make some coin. The vendor's name is Elijah Eggleton, and his job is listed as just sausages. The 5th sausage, the Fried Boar Sausage, is sold by the innkeeper in Falconhurst, which is a village at the far southwest edge of the island. If you haven't explored the whole zone and unlocked the flight points, this will require a long run and maybe some questing in the area. I'm not sure, but I think Elisha Darkwater, who is the innkeeper, is available as soon as you get into town, regardless of whether or not you've done any questing. She sells a few items and an infinite supply of sausages. Buy your links, have a snack, and continue. Thanks for watching this far. I'm about to talk about the Heartsbane Hexen Horse, the hardest sausage to get. If you've made it this far, I'd appreciate it if you click the like button. And if you want to see guides to the rest of the Drustvar exploration achievements, click on subscribe. Now for the Heartsbane Hexen Horse. Farming this item is probably going to take 10 hours or so, which is insanity. If you go with a cooperative guild group, you might be able to get it within a couple hours. There are a couple stages here. The Hexen Horse is produced by cooking, so you need enough cooking skill to produce it, you need the recipe, and you need the raw materials. I'm going to assume you've got the cooking skill, because if you're chasing this 5-point achievement, I assume you've got at least 1 max level character with oodles of cooking skill. The first stage is the hardest, getting the recipe. Now here's the gotcha. The recipe is a 3% drop from Raal the Gluttonous in Waycrest Manor. Here in the background you can see the fight against Raal. The recipe will drop where such items normally drop, which means normal and heroic and mythic, but not mythic plus. You don't need any Keeltiran cooking skill for the recipe to drop, and the recipe is BOE rather than BOP, which means that you've got a slight chance to see this recipe on the auction house, and that you can also transfer the recipe to an alt or guildmate that has the 15 cooking skill required. Again, you do not need 50 cooking skill to get the recipe to drop. From my recollection of the dungeon, you can't always go for Raal first. Only one of the 3 doors leading out of the entryway will be open in any given instance, and just one of those leads to Raal, the other 2 leading to the west and the 3 witches. With a guild group dedicated to farming this, you'll probably need about 7 attempts. Solo? Well, if you're farming solo, plan to spend a month or more running the dungeon once a day. Getting the recipe is only the first hurdle, so luckily the hardest. Roughly another hour of farming remains. The recipe for the Hexen Horse requires meaty haunches, which drop left and right off of all sorts of beasts. Fusaka, which can be purchased from a vendor in Borealis, as well as from cooking and trade suppliers throughout the 6 zones. And here's the hard part, 5 cursed haunches. Cursed haunches are a rare drop from hexed creatures in Drustvar. You might think this means the creatures that are target of the Cursed Game Hunter achievement, which if you've done that, but that's not exactly true. There's only 8 creatures that dropped cursed haunches, while there's 13 different cursed beasts in that Chivo. Actually, the list is even lower. Of the 8 candidate beasts, 2 are named mobs, Betsy and Gorehorn. There's 2 variants of boar, 2 variants of wolf, and the dog and stag, which is 2 variants of deer. So there are just 3 types of beasts. Some players have reported that the drop rate has been increased from early days in alpha, which is, if you're doing this achievement now, a good thing, as it was previously under a 1% drop rate for the haunches. The current rate seems to be between 1.5% and 4%. Some recommend Betsy as a good target, as she can drop multiple copies of the cursed haunch, and the logic seems to be that sometimes a normal meaty haunch has a chance to proc into a cursed haunch. Otherwise, find a bunch of cursed or hexed beasts and farm away. Here are the 8 beasts, by the way. Betsy, just east of Fallhaven. Gorehorn, south of Fallhaven in the woods. Cursed Brambleback, north and west of the lake, east of the Crimson Forest. Hexed Thornclaw in the foothills east of Falconhurst. Hexen Wolf Tracker and Hexen Wolf Alpha, both around Falconhurst. And Hex-Crazed Great Stag and Hex-Crazed Doe, both in the forest south of Fallhaven around the area where Gorehorn is. I haven't yet completed this achievement because I haven't yet gotten a copy of the recipe, seen it on the auction house, or have a guildmate that has it. The recipe doesn't drop in Mythic Plus, so you need to choose to run the low-level difficulty of the dungeon to get the recipe, or do it on an alt. Eating the Hexen Horse does have a side effect. It turns you into a cursed pig for 5 minutes. But the cost of the buff in farming time is so high that you won't see it offered much. I wish I had a video to show you, but I'm not going to farm this recipe hard before I upload this video. Good luck, and I'll see you with the next Drustvar Chivo.